morning for breakfast and coffee. They got their usual table by the window. What do you think of what we saw yesterday? Certainly was intriguing. We've now seen a multidimensional object that opens up a realm of beauty and a multidimensional object that opens up a realm of hideousness. Yeah, they seem to be trying to conceal both the multidimensional object that opens up a realm of beauty and the multidimensional object that opens up a realm of hideousness. Let's just order breakfast and talk about something else. That'd be nice. Penelope, the waitress, takes her order. How can I help you? I'll have the Bayside griddle cakes with extra butter and some strawberry maple syrup, along with a cup of mountain morning. Coming right up. Coming right up, Mike. What's it going to be really like? I'll have the paradise pancakes and a cup of succulent coffee. I'll have that for you people. By the way, Elena, how is your writing project going for Coffee Lovers Monthly? It's going great. I find that I have an ability to write about coffee in a poetic way that expresses the way coffee is not only a beverage that brings an exquisite taste sensation to my mouth, but also connects my soul to the eternal realm of pleasure that transcends this earthly plane of existence. That was beautifully stated. All of a sudden, out the window and see the woman in the Corvette pull up again. She gets out of the car. She gets out of her car. She gets out of the car. She seems to be holding a new package. This package is also intriguing. From the near distance is heard another woman screaming, "Get her, she's got the package!" The woman gets back into her Corvette and drives off frantically. Wow. I wonder where she went in her car. I wonder what's in the package. Maybe top secret plans drawn up by aliens interested in taking over planet Earth. I'm sure we'll find out soon. Would you like to go back to my condominium to address more William Shakespeare dialogue? Sure. Michael and Elena went back to Mike's condominium to practice more William Shakespeare dialogue. Michael and Elena got up the next morning and went to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee. They got their usual table by the window. They got their usual table by the window. And where they can look out upon happy San Francisco people. Penelope, their favorite waitress, took their order. How can I help you? I'll have the griddle cakes with strawberry syrup and butter, along with some hash browns and a cup of Mountain Morning Paradise coffee. I'll have that for you. What's it going to be for you, Lelena? I'll have the savory crepes with butter and maple syrup, along with a cup of ocean morning coffee. I'll have that for you people. That package is intriguing, isn't it? Yes, it sure is. Hey, look, Lelena, it's Ethan Hawke. The guy who portrays Ethan Hawke in the stage app at... let me repeat that. Look, Lelena, it's Ethan Hawke, the guy who portrays Ethan Hawke in the stage adaptation of Reality Bites, and the girl who portrays you, the Lelena character, in the play. They approach them. Stay the fuck away from my woman, Charlie. She's my woman now, Ethan. I'm sorry, Ethan. You want Charlie? Charlie is the guy who portrays me in the stage adaptation of Reality Bites, and I'm the real Ethan Hawke. I brought the character Troy Dyer in Archetypal Existence Reality Bites, Sheila. Sorry, Ethan. I get Sheila. I'd be a prostitute if you get desperate. No, sorry, Charlie. I'm gonna kick the shit out of you. Yeah, watch me. A fight ensues. It gets bloody. Mike and Lelena look to each other. I can't watch this. Can you, Lelena? No, let's go back to your condominium and raise more Lelena there. Sure. Mike and Lelena practice some more William Shakespeare dialogue. Mike and Lelena. Sit in Mike's condominium overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge and beautiful Pacific Ocean, glimmering in the light of the moon, and start talking. Isn't it amazing that Ethan Hawke is in a fight with the guy who portrays him in a stage adaptation of Reality Bites? I think it shows not only the power of love, but the power of theater. Ethan Hawke brought Troy Dyer into the archetypal realm where Reality Bites exists, and his portrayal was so convincing that he fully embodied the character to the extent that he exists in such a real way that the woman Sheila, who portrays Leilana Pierce, is now more in love with Charlie. The guy who portrays Troy Dyer in the stage adaptation of Reality Bites, because Charlie has brought to the tangible world the character that Ethan Hawke put into archetypal existence. That shows the power of theater. The power of love is manifest in the passionate fight that Charlie Tamlinson and Ethan Hawke are engaged in over Sheila Henderson, the woman who portrays Leilani Pierce in the stage adaptation of Reality Bites. Yeah, that is far out. Hey, look, Mike. Do you see that? By the Golden Gate Bridge? Yeah. Yeah, I see it. It looks like Ethan Hawke and Sheila Henderson kissing? I thought Sheila Henderson wanted Charlie Tamlinson. What is she doing with Ethan Hawke? I just thought of something. Do you think that maybe Sheila Henderson is in love with Troy Dyer, the character portrayed by both Ethan Hawke and Charlie Tamlinson? And whoever successfully brings Troy Dyer into real life is the guy that Sheila Henderson is going to choose? That's an interesting speculation. And perhaps correct. All of a sudden, Charlie Tamlinson wanders around by Ethan Hawke, and Sheila Henderson, another bloody fight ensues. This is really awful. We have got to try to intervene in this situation to stop the fighting. Do you have any idea about what we can do about it? I just thought of something. We could put on a play at Pancakes by the Bay, which will be a stage adaptation of Reality Bites. This play will run for several weeks. Well, it will run for several months. As a competition between Ethan Hawke and Charlie Tamlinson to see who brings Troy Dyer into tangible existence. The play will be performed twice a night for several months, at the end of which the winner will be chosen by Sheila Henderson. Whoever wins gets Sheila Henderson. Whoever wins gets Sheila Henderson. I love that idea. Do you want to go talk to them? Sure. Mike and Elena. Mike and Elena go to talk to Ethan, Sheila, and Charlie. Hi, people. Hi, Mike. Hey, Mike. What are you doing here? Hi, Mike. We're here because Leilani has an idea about how to decide who gets Sheila. What's your idea? We could put on a stage adaptation of Reality Bites at Pancakes by the Bay every evening for several months, twice an evening. The character, Troy Dyer, would be portrayed by Ethan in one performance and Charlie in the other performance. At the end of this series of performances, Sheila, who could decide who she really wants, which would be the guy who brings Troy Dyer most fully into tangible existence. That'd be perfect. I agree. Let's go for it. Okay, we'll get this thing started. Would you like to go back to my condominium across Mark William Shakespeare? Like, sure. Michael and Elena went back to Mike's condominium with Rex Mark William Shakespeare dialogue. Michael and Elena thoroughly enjoyed performing their William Shakespeare dialogue. And talked into the evening. You're an amazing Shakespearean actress, Elena. The fluency of your delivery and the way you identify with the dialogue and the way you identify with the dialogue is captivating. You embody the characters that you portray so fully that you take them to a level of transcendence whereupon arts and life intermingle. Thanks, Mike. This is paradise for me, Lelena. Peace, love, romance, and William Shakespeare. The poetry of his writing and the way the words come to life through our performances and the feeling of being immortally in love with you, Lelena. That was beautifully stated. Do you want to go to Pancakes by the Bay tomorrow? Sure. Mike and Lelena went to Pancakes by the Bay the next day and got their usual booth by the window. Penelope, the waitress, took their order. What's it going to be for you this morning? Give me the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of mountain morning coffee. I'll have the scrumptious pancakes, a cup of mountain morning coffee. I'll have that for you, people. All of a sudden, Mike and Lelena look out the window and see the same woman in the Corvette pull up. She gets out of the car with a package in her hands and looks directly at them. She opens up the package and Mike and Lelena can see inside of it. In it, there seems to be an object of a color they have never seen and a shape that they have never seen. This object is an object that can not only be seen from a plane of existence that is beyond the four dimensions. Okay, let me restate that. This object is an object that can only be seen from a plane of existence that is beyond the four dimensions of time and space. The woman then gets back in the car and drives off and drives away. Did you see that? Yeah, I wonder how we were able to see that object. That can usually only be seen on higher dimensional planes of existence. I could explain that to you, Mike and Lelena. You have been enlightened by your love is so strong that you can see beyond the stark and often unappealing realm of four-dimensional reality on this earthly plane of existence into an immortal realm of eternal human love. You now see the world in its full glory. Your love brings the world to life. That's great. I agree. Do you want to go back to your condominium and write some more dialogue by William Shakespeare and other people? Sure. Mike and Lelena went back to Mike's condominium and wrote some more William Shakespeare dialogue. Mike and Lelena thoroughly enjoyed their performing of William Shakespeare dialogue and other people's dialogue and talked into the evening. Would you like a beer, Lelena? A beer? Sure. What do you have? I have some Anchor Steam California Lager. Awesome. Mike goes to the beer refrigerator to get them the beer. What do you think about when you were here all alone? What do I think about when I'm here all alone? I look out at the Golden Gate Bridge and see lovers hand in hand and then look up at the sky. Um, I have a telescope that brings into focus distant planets, but you can only see them in light images. That's only a view of planets in our galaxy. I then think about planets in other galaxies and the possibility of intelligent life on other planets. We haven't found intelligent life in our galaxy so far. There may have been intelligent life in our galaxy and other planets eons ago. I then wonder that if there was intelligent life on other planets, what kind of society they had or have. I wonder if it is possible that there is or ever was a kind of utopian society anywhere in the universe where life was or is a blissful dance of unmitigated pleasure and romance. If so, I wonder if these pleasures are so acute that they transcend any earthly pleasures we can experience, placing souls forever suspended in a state of heightened sensory engagement. It would be similar to that feeling you get when you first fall deeply in love with another person and your world is suddenly raised to a higher plateau. That feeling would be intensified there and would be something you would feel eternally with your lover. That'd be so beautiful. Do you want to go to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast tomorrow? Sure. Mike and Elena went to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee. They got their usual table by the window. Penelope took their order. What do people want? I'll have the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of Mountain Morning Coffee. Great. What's it going to be for you, little Elena? Give me the Bayside crepes and a cup of Mountain Morning Coffee. Sure, I'll get that for you people. They're looking out the window and all of a sudden they see the same woman in the Corvette pull up. She's holding a package. She looks at them from inside of her car. Another woman gets out of the car and walks up to the restaurant. She looks at them directly, sitting at the table. Can you guess what's in the package? She then saunters out of the restaurant, keeping her head in the same position, staring at them the whole way to the car. She screams and then laughs at a high volume, and the car races away. That was weird. Yeah. Would you like to go back to my condominium and practice some more dialogue? Mike and Elena went back to Mike's condominium to practice some more dialogue. Mike and Elena got up the next morning and went to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast and coffee. They got their usual table by the window. Penelope, their favorite waitress, took their order. What's it going to be for you this morning? Give me the Bayside griddle cakes and a cup of mountain morning coffee. Got it. What'll you have? I'll have the succulent crepes and a cup of mountain morning coffee. Coming right up. Penelope goes to get their food and coffee and they start talking. This is bizarre. I wonder what the Corvette woman had in the package. I don't know. She laughed as she drove off. I wasn't sure if it was a sinister laugh or a jovial laugh. This Corvette woman seems to be... This Corvette woman seems to be an important character in the fabric of human interaction. The package that she passes back and forth to the other people are not very often revealed as to what they contain, but when they are, seem to demonstrate that their contents are extremely important. I agree. All of a sudden, Penelope, the waitress, comes up to them. Hi, Penelope, what's up? Hi, Mike. Hi, Lelena. Could I let you people in on something? Sure. What is it, Penelope? I enjoy being a waitress here and talking to you fine people like you, but I've got some higher ambitions in life. What are they? My goal here has always been to be a filmmaker. I've been waiting to be inspired, and I finally have a great idea for a movie. As a matter of fact, the movie has already been shot, and I just need a movie company to fund it. If it's a good film, I'm sure they'll have no problem with that. What's it about? I've been observing people in and around Pancakes by the Bay in the restaurant and outside. I've been writing dialogue that embellishes conversations I have heard and have pieced together a story of events that have taken place. I've gone home after work and written a script based on events I have seen and dialogue I have heard. I have a rough draft of the script and a low-budget production of the movie. What I want is to get it produced by a mainstream Hollywood producer such as Martin Scorsese. That's wonderful, Penelope. Hope you achieve your dream. Here's the weird aspect of the situation. In observing these people and writing a story about them, I found something disturbing. What? There's been a murder. I don't know who committed the murder. Only that it was committed by some of these people, how do you know there was a murder? I saw some people pull up in a van and throw a body inside. Their identity was concealed with masks, but I happen to know it was these people. How do you know? A hat that several of these people have been wearing to the restaurant? They take turns wearing the same hat. On different days. The people in the van, when they drove off, accidentally dropped this hat. I retrieved this hat and compared it to the hat as seen by security cameras. Indeed, a close analysis has revealed this to be the same hat. Can't you deduce from that that it must be one of the people that wore the hat? The problem is that almost everybody that comes here tries the hat on. It's a beautifully rare hat that people want to try on. So knowing who has worn the hat doesn't give me any clues. Here's my idea. Oh, hi, Cam Elsis. Thanks for joining me. Here's my idea. I have this story that I've written, produced by a Hollywood movie company, and people come to see it. Within the movie, there is evidence of a murder that took place. The viewing audience can try to piece together the evidence and see if they can. Oh, hi, how are you, Foxa? Thanks for joining me. This is Reality Bites 2. Okay. Within the movie, there's evidence of a murder that took place. The viewing audience can try to piece together the evidence to see that if they can solve the murder. That way, the movie might not only be a movie that the movie might not only be a box office hit, but oh, hi, Gabe. Your name is Gabe Serrano? Hi. The movie might not only be a box office hit, but it actually provide evidence to solve a murder. To provide evidence to solve a murder case. Great idea, Elena. I mean, great idea, Penelope. Yeah, it is. Would you like to practice more dialogue? Sure. Mike and Elena went back to Mike's condominium to practice more dialogue. Here's an excerpt from it. Now we're going to get my William Shakespeare dialogue. Okay. Romeo and Juliet. Capulet's orchard, and a Romeo. You jest the scars that never felt a wound. And her Juliet above at a window. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou her maid art more fair than she? Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear. Cast it off. It is my lady, oh, it is my love. Oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses, I will answer it. I am too bold, 'tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all the heaven, having some business, do entreat her eyes to twinkle in their spheres, till they return. What if her eyes were there? They in her head? The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars as daylight doth a lamp. Would through the airy region stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand? Oh, that it were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek. She speaks again. Oh, speak again, bright angel. For thou art as glorious to this night being over my head, as is a winged messenger of heaven, unto the white upturned wondering eyes of mortals that fall back to gaze on him, when he bestrides the lazy pacing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air. Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I vow that tips with silver all these silver fruit tree tops. Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon, that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable. What shall I swear by? Do not swear at all. Or, if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my elder tree, and I'll believe thee. Well, do not swear, although I joy in thee, I have no joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too unadvised, too sudden, too like the lightning which doth cease to be, ere one can say it lightens. Sweet good night. This bud of love by summer's ripening breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night, as sweet repose and rest come to my heart as that within my breast. Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied? What satisfaction canst thou have tonight? The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine? I gave thee mine before thou did request it, and yet I would it were to give again. Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love? But to be frank and give it thee again, and yet I wish but for the thing I have. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. I hear some noise within, dear love, adieu. Anon, good nurse, sweet man, take me true. Stay but a level, I will come again. Oh, blessed night! I am afeard, being in a night, all this is but a dream, too flattering sweet to be substantial. Re-enter Juliet above the window. 3 words there, Romeo, and good night indeed. Oh, thanks, Omega. You said, would you say that's good? Okay, I'm doing some Romeo and Juliet. Okay, this is Romeo and Juliet for the 21st century. 1,000 times good night, 1,000 times the worst, the want thy light. Love goes towards love as schoolgirls from their books. But love from love towards school heavy looks. Re-enter Juliet above at a window. Very happy to have get some people in the YouTube audience listening to Romeo and Juliet. It's good to hear this. People have some good taste in literature. So Romeo and Juliet, let me see. So this picks up, let's see, Romeo and Juliet. If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle fine is this. My lips, two blushing pilgrims, ready stand to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss. Oh, thanks for the compliment, Omega. Okay. I'm going to go back to my Romeo and Juliet. Let's see. Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmer's kiss. Have not saints lips and holy palmers too? Aye, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer. Oh, then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair. Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake. Then move not while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips by thine sin is purged. Then have my lips a sin that they have took. Sin for my lips? Oh, trespass sweetly urged. Give me my sin again. Madame, your mother craves a word with you. What is her mother? Mary, bachelor. Her mother is a lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise and virtuous. I nursed her daughter. That you talked withal? I tell you, he that can lay hold of her shall have the chinks. Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear account, my life is my foe's debt. Away, begone, the sport is at the best. Aye, so I fear the more is my unrest. Nay, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling foolish banquet towards. Is it so? Why then I thank you all. I thank you, honest gentlemen. Good night. More touches here. Come in then. Let's to bed. And Sarah, it waxes late. Out to my rest. Come hither, nurse. What is yon gentleman? The son and heir of old Tiberio. What's he that is going out of door? Go to the end of the play. And then I want to go to another play, another Shakespeare. I'm on a roll. I'm kind of like, I've got my second win for the day. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling very Shakespearean. Give me that Madoc of the wrenching iron. Oh, take this letter early in the morning. See thou deliver it to my father. Give me the light. Upon thy life I charge thee. Whatever thou hearest or seest, stand all aloof, and do not interrupt me in my course. Why I descend unto this bed of death is partly to behold my lady's face, but chiefly to take thence from her dead finger a precious ring, a ring that must use in dear employment. Therefore hence be gone, but if thou jealous dost return to prying what I farther shall intend to do, by heaven, I shall tear thee joint by joint, and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. The time and my intents are savage wild. more fierce and more inexorable than empty tigers or the roaring sea. I will be gone, sir, and not trouble ye. So shalt thou show me friendship. Take thou that, live and be prosperous, and farewell, good fellow. For all the same, I'll hide thee thereabouts. He looks, I fear, and is intense, I doubt. Thou detestable maw, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth. Thus, amiss abyss. Oh, cool. Okay. Thus I enforce thy rotten jaws to open, and in despite I'll cram thee with more food. That is banished haughty Montague. I'm reading William Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet. That murdered my love's cousin with grief. Oh, thanks. Amiss Abyss. Thanks, Amiss. Your name is Amiss Abyss? Is that just your YouTube name? Okay, anyway. And here to come to do some villainous shame to the dead bodies, I will apprehend him. Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague. Can vengeance be pursued further than death? Condemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die. I must indeed, and therefore came I hither. Good gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave me. Think upon these gone. Let them affright thee. I beseech thee, youth, put not another sin upon my head by urging me to fury. Oh, be gone. By heaven, I love thee better than myself, for I come hither armed against myself. Stay not, be gone, live, and hereafter say a madman's mercy bid thee run away. I do defy thy conjuration, and apprehend thee for a felon here. Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy. O Lord, they fight. I will go call the watch. Oh, I am slain. If thou be merciful. Open the tomb, lay me with Joliet. In faith I will. Let me peruse this face. Mercutio's kinsman, noble county Paris. What said my... And when my betossed soul did not attend him as we rode. I think he told me Paris should have married Juliet. Said he not so, or did I dream it so? Or am I mad hearing him talk of Juliet? To think it was so? Oh, give me thy hand. One writ with me in sour misfortune's book. I'll bury thee in a triumphant grave. A grave? Oh, no, a lantern, slaughtered youth. For here lies Juliet. And her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death, lie thou here, by a dead man interred. How often men are at the point of death have they been merry? Which their keepers call a lightning before death. And I think that provides some pretty good insight. I think when William Shakespeare wrote that passage, I think what he was thinking is like, at the very moment of his purpose, because we're all going to die, and at the very moment of a human being's death, there is a kind of euphoria. And I think it's built into the evolutionary system of a human being that, like, right before the moment of death, you experience a type of euphoria that is a coping mechanism that enables a person to accept death and to make a smooth transition from life into death and back into a new life on some other plane of existence. And that's where I'm going to meet all of my heroes. Hath had no power, yet upon thy beauty, death itself had no power upon thy beauty. Death has sucked the honey of thy breath, and had no power upon thy beauty. Death had no power upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered, beauty's ensign yet. Is crimson. In thy lips and in thy cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there. Tybalt, liest thou there in thy bloody sheet? Oh, what more favor can I do thee than with that hand that cut thy youth in twain, to sunder his that was thine enemy? Forgive me, cousin. Ah, dear Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous? And that the lean abhorred monster keeps thee here in the dark to be his paramour? For fear that I still will lay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night depart again? Here will I remain with worms that are thy chambermaids? Oh, here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-wearied flesh? Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, oh you, the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss a dateless bargain and engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct. Come, savory guide, thou desperate pilot. Now at once, on the dashing rocks, thy seasick wearied bark, here's to my love, oh true apothecary. Or is it apothecary? Thy drugs are quick. Thus, with a kiss, I die. What a beautiful way to die, kissing Juliet. This letter doth make good the friar's words, their course of love, the tidings of her death. And here he writes that he did buy a poison of a poor apothecary, and therewithal came to this vault to die and lie with Juliet. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague. See what a scourge is laid upon your hate, that heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished. Oh, brother Monte, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand. But I can give thee more, for I will raise her statue in pure gold. That whiles Verona by that name is known, there shall no figure at such rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet. As rich shall Romeo by his ladies lie, poor sacrifices of our enmity. A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence, I have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and of Romeo. See, what other Shakespeare can I perform? Let's see. How about all's well that ends well? Okay. All's well that ends well. Now this story, all's well that ends well, is I'm going to give you first, before I do all's well that ends well, I'm going to give you a preface to it. So now, all's well that ends well, often cited as a problem play, all's well conforms pretty nearly to Shakespeare's unusual cosmic or comic practice of uniting lovers after disruption and separation. The comic tone is reinforced by a sub-action in which a cowardly braggart is shown in his true colors. But there are asymmetries and questionable manners which have given readers and spectators pause. Though in no case is the problematic material without parallel elsewhere in Shakespeare's work, girl here gets boy, despite his doing everything in his power to evade her. But so had the relationship in The Taming of the Shrew misfired until the close. Girl has obtained her title to boy in a formalized ceremony, but so was Portia won in The Merchant of Venice. Girl finally secures boy by taking another's place in his darkened bed, but thus is Angelo diverted towards a right course of life in Measure for Measure. These events belong to folk tales, where characters are maneuvered until a pattern obtains which satisfies whatever conditions the narrative has set up. A desire fulfilled, a vow performed, falsehood exposed. Neatness and ingenuity prevail in such stories. The people are pawns, valued for their ardor or their cunning. Pawns are conventionally made of wood. And one could say that here Shakespeare's ability to suggest fine shades of personality prevents him from doing the right thing by the folktale, which would be to suppress character and emphasize narrative processes. Thus, whereas we could approve this plot's low-born heroine, with amused detachment as she single-mindedly lies and cheats her way towards the nobleman, who has spurned her, we feel differently when that heroine is Helena, humbled and exalted, repeatedly linked in the play's imagery and sacred values. Bertram, too, is not just an object of pursuit, but an uncomfortably detailed study of a vigorous young aristocrat who will fight to preserve his freedom and pleasures. These characters inhabit an unstable world where merry and contrived tricks coexist with autumnal meditations on youth and age, respect and value. The old Countess of Rosillian, dignified, restrained, and peripheral to the plot, hardly exists in the same arena of the imagination as the King of France, who, essentially in the narrative, is supported by no particular individualizing touch. The third scene of Act Two brings the various elements strikingly together. Helena, the king's savior, is allowed her choice of husband. In virginal simplicity, she dedicates herself to imperial love, and the candidates present themselves. The dialogue moves into rhymed couplets. The effect is mannered and sweetly artificial as anything in Love's Labour's Lost, Then, when she chooses Bertram, long the object of her heart's desire, the rhyming stops. He rejects her, seeing no necessary connection between the king's restoration of health and his having to take a wife. Furthermore, he's never liked Helena. Palpably embarrassed, she seeks to withdraw. The king enforces the marriage, and Bertram flees the country. She seeks to, starting seemingly impossible conditions, or stating seemingly impossible conditions, before he will regard himself as married. One fairy tale lies smashed by a participant who refuses to acknowledge how fairy tales work. Another quest straightaway rises up in its stead. It may have been that Shakespeare found a challenge in such disparities and tonal jolts. But what is odder than a healthy interest in stylistic juxtapositions is that the dramatist did not steer towards safer haven that is afforded by its final scene, which requires a reformed Bertram. Parolles has been in some sort Bertram's evil genius. An elaborate comic exposure of Parolles' hollowness takes place in the fourth act. What more convenient than to start the hero at this point on his path to reintegration? Free of all misguidance, a change in his character promised by the report at the opening of Act Scene 3, Bertram would be ready for Helena's healing love. But Shakespeare refuses. Cornered, Bertram lies, blackens others, does all he can to preserve his grimy selfhood and reputation until caving in when it is proved that Helena has indeed won him. And was he worth the winning? We may wonder. Consistency in Bertram undercuts the play's scheme. Perhaps its title is ironic. There's no evidence of its having been staged in Shakespeare's day. They told me that your name was Fontabelle. Titled goddess, and worth it with addition, but fair soul, and your fine frame hath no quality? And quick fire of youth light not your mind, you are no maiden but a monument. Okay, here's the play As You Like It. I will not till I please, you shall hear me. My father charged you, and is it even so? Beginning to throw. I will do one more play. Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. Now must your conscience my acquaintance seal, and you must put me in your heart for friend. Sith, you have heard, and with a knowing ear, that he hath Othello, Moor of Venice. No, let's see. Antony and Cleopatra. Seek him and bring him. The nature of bad news, when it connects with Cymbeline. Sir, I would advise you to shift a shirt. The violence of action hath made you reek as a sacrifice. A goodly day. I keep this outside. Okay, so what you just witnessed was performance of William Shakespeare dialogue, preceded by my Reality Bites 2 script, within the script. Bye, I'll see you.